Well, tomorrow morning, charges are set to be dropped against a Rensselaer County man who police said raped two teenage girls. John Halacy had sat in the county jail for 9 months up until his release this week. So why was he let out? Well, prosecutors admit his right to a speedy trial was violated because of a mistake in paperwork. Now, the parents of his alleged victims say that they are living in fear as he walks free. Our Brandon Lewis spoke to the mothers of both girls who did not want to be identified. Brandon is live with us now in studio. What do these mothers want to see done now, Brandon?
Well, Dory, they want him to stand trial for the crimes he's accused of committing against their daughters. Halacy accused of manipulating their young minds and then taking advantage of them. Tonight, he's free to walk on the streets on a technicality, and it doesn't sit well with them or their families.
My daughter was my little best friend. We are so close. She tells me everything. She's a really good kid. She's National Honor Society.
This mother's daughter was just 13 years old when she says she met John Halacy and their relationship took an inappropriate turn.
It's so easy for them to be manipulated by somebody. You could have a girl who's a little depressed, feeling down on herself, and, a good-looking guy comes along and, hey, beautiful, how are you? That immediately will pick up her spirit. And it's very easy to manipulate, young girls, being who he is.
She points to messages like this one, where Halacy supposedly told her he loved her. Eventually, she asks if they took things too fast.
He's a sex offender. He's a predator. He's vindictive. He's malicious. And he deserves to be behind bars.
And he was for 9 months. Too long under speedy trial rules. The district attorney was supposed to have a grand jury review the case, but for some reason it fell through the cracks and nearly all the charges will be dropped.
I had left numerous messages and nobody would call me back to give me any details on the case, what was going on, when our court hearing was supposed to be. The only thing I had heard was the DA was out on medical leave and then somebody would get back to me.
She says, though, no one did, even as late as last week when a friend spotted Halacy out on the street.
That made me sick to my stomach because, like I said, last everybody knew he was only getting 7 to 10. Families just need to be aware, get nosy, be in your kid's business, be that parent that they don't want you to be, up close and personal.
Halacy is expected to plead guilty to 3 counts of child endangerment tomorrow. He will get credit for time served and is expected to go free then after. The DA tells us they will review the file to see if there are any other charges, but under double jeopardy, they can't bring back those old charges. Live in the studio, Brandon Lewis, CBS 6 News.
All right, thank you, Brennan. Rensselaer County Assistant DA Laura Krugler and her boss are taking responsibility. In a statement, the DA, Richard McNally, said, quote, ADA Krugler acknowledged she dropped the ball. I take responsibility. I regret this foul-up. I apologize to the victims in the case and their families, as well as the police who brought the case.
What's next now for the alleged victims and their families in these cases? Well, we reached out to our legal expert to learn what, if anything, they can do. Paul Darahunessian tells us their options are limited at this point because they can't sue prosecutors.
A victim is really dependent on the discretion of a district attorney. It's the prosecutor who decides which cases to prosecute, what the disposition will be, and how they will be prosecuted. So victims can't dictate what the outcome will be. They may be consulted on a case, but with respect to any criminal prosecution, that's totally in the hands of the DA.